What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out a CJRB knife. I had multiple boxes come in all at once, and I figure I cut back on some time getting at least the knife boxes out of the other box and just cut to the chase, if you know what I mean, pun intended, 1000%. So we're going to be checking out this guy here. Of course, this will be my raw first impressions on the knife in here. I believe this is the Acacia, right? The Acacia, if I'm saying that right. Stonewash AR RPM9 blade, black FRN handle. So let's take a look, right? And of course, it's only fitting to use the one of my favorite CJRB knives of all time. Really been enjoying this one a lot. The Hectare Alt from CJRB. Of course, this knife and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below. So if you're interested in checking prices, availability, variants, and all that good stuff, definitely check those links in the description and pinned comments. Those do help out the channel at zero extra cost to you. So that being said, we got the CJRB pouch here with their logo, right? Nice zipper pouch, right? There we go. We got the wiping cloth there with the CJRB logo, right? They did the orange J. That's a nice little detail there. And here is the knife. All right, let's go ahead and focus on that. It's on this sort of Ziploc bag. Open this bad boy up. Can I have my knife, please? Thank you. Okay, let's take a look here, guys, shall we? Right, the Acacia here looking pretty good so far. So first impression, these are FRN scales, right? But they don't feel like G10. And at first, you know, unless you touch it, obviously once it's in your hand, it's a different story. But if you were looking at it from a distance or on a picture, this could look like aluminum, right? Aluminium, depending on which side of the pond you are from. But kind of looks like aluminum, but obviously once you touch it, you know what it is, right? It is FRN. One thing for sure, though, which I'm already a huge fan of, is this intricate milling going on here, right? That's looking pretty savage right there. I mean, they could have just left it plain or what have you, but they added additional personality to it. Now, that would be sick if these were titanium scales. They probably will make a premium version of this knife. I can guarantee you that right now. If I know CJRB as well as I think I know CJRB, chances are they'll probably make a premium version of this knife. And if I had to bet money on it, I'll say they'll probably put S90V and give you a beautiful titanium scales with the same milling. Man, that's gonna be beautiful, right? So that milling is looking really nice. That gets some really cool points right there, looking pretty awesome. Of course, this thing is gonna be pretty lightweight, right? There I say Benchmade bug out comparator. I mean, there's so many Benchmade bug out killers these days. I mean, of course, it is a crossbar lock knife after all. We do have a deep pocket carry clip, right? Very similar to the standard pocket clip you see in many models, the Pyrite, Hectare Alt, Prado, etc. So this one's all blacked out here, matching the handle black as well, which is sweet. It is reversible. This is, of course, is an ambidextrous knife after all. But let's go ahead and get this guy here deployed. We got an opening hole there for deployment. No flipper tabs, no front flippers, none of that. It is a crossbar lock. So nice little half moon blade hole going on there. And of course, I would fell it like a complete noob on the first attempt. Bam, there we go. Second attempt, right? Second time is a charm. Check this blade out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, take a look. Beautiful drop point blade, stone wash finish. I give her a nice little wipe. Definitely has the oils. Definitely preserving it. Make sure you get a pristine knife when you unbox it on your end. So give her a nice little wipe here. We are going to be putting this guy to use right away. I'll be carrying this guy for some time. I will be coming back to you with a comprehensive review down the line on this guy. So, ooh, is that a little ting sound I hear? Okay, all right. Definitely digging that. All right, got a little bit of a ting sound there. So yeah, action right there as far as the reverse flick. That is money, right? I would definitely go for this lower portion here as compared to higher up. But either way, you have plenty of room there to deploy this guy. I still have to calibrate the close because obviously it's a brand new knife out of the box. Thumb deployment, all right, that's also pretty good. And one thing they did right is they definitely make sure to give you full access to the hole, right? One of the things on the CJRB Hectare, the OG one, not the Alt, because the Alt gives you this Warncliffe blade with thumb studs, but the original Hectare they had an opening hole, kind of pill-shaped opening hole, and then the handle kind of covered that hole a little bit. So here they make sure they gave you full access to that opening hole, which is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, 1000% the way to go, right? So I'm glad they did that. You can tell I got to calibrate how much flick of the wrist I got to give it because this is one pretty tight. You can definitely feel the resistance, the resistance on the Omega springs right there. So I got to break it in a little bit, but you know, the action is just as good as the Hectare Alt. We'll do some size comparisons here in just a moment, but kind of going back to that blade for a moment, right? Check out the stonewash. CJRB absolutely knows how to do a beautiful stonewash blade. It is a flat grind, so you know this thing is going to be slicey, and we'll do our scientific cutting test here in just a moment as well. Sharpening choil situation right there where my nail is, so you'll be able to get plenty of sharpness out of this guy without developing a smile. AR RPM 9 steel. It is a spray form steel. Check out Knife Steel Nerd's video doing a deep dive if you want to learn more, get nerdy about the blade steel there. This thing, of course, is on ball bearings, as you probably guessed, right? So it has good action there, right? Of course, as I mentioned, an ambidextrous style knife, except my left hand, you know, the dexterity left the chat since birth, but somehow, some way, I'm making it work here. So you get the idea, right? If you're lefty, right, you're good to go. You switch the pocket clip to the other side. There's a little portion there for it already cut out on the FRN handle. You're good to go, my friend, right? So they definitely thought about that. We do have recessed liners here. Yeah, fully recessed liners on there. Sandwich construction with the two standoffs back here. Looking pretty sweet. And ergonomically speaking, right, check this out. I got average hands. They're not the biggest of hands or smallest of hands. I'm able to get a full purchase there on the standard grip. If there's one other thing that CJRB really knows how to do, is that forward choke finger choil situation right there. Boom. You can forward choke a little bit further up on the blade, right? You're still safe, you know, in this position here. You're not going to cut yourself. Obviously, you know, you got to know what you're doing. Be aware of what you're doing. But it is safe to forward choke right here on this finger choil. Right, you get a little bit closer to the tip, right? If you're slicing and dicing, right? Food prep, camping, whatever it is you got going on, right? Cutting some rope, right? Cutting some cardboard, whatever it is you got going on, right? That forward choke position right there is really nice. That's also one of the things I love about the Pyrite so much. One of the things I love about the Hectare Alt so much. So I'll tell you, they don't, they definitely know how to make a ergonomic knife. And every time they get a chance to put a finger choil, they do. And I love them for that. So CJRB, keep doing that, right? We love, love, love that. The jimping is a little bit on the short side, so you only get jimping about this much into, like if you do the standard hammer grip and you put your thumb there, that's good. But you know, when you forward choke, maybe adding another 3, 4, 5 little rows of jimping here would have been nice. That's just me, right? Would have been appreciated. Obviously not a deal breaker in any way. It's more of a personal preference. But the crossbar lock is just as comfortable as you expect, right? They make nice and really round, right, little nubs there for you to pull back on the tab. You guys gotta tell me you're hearing that ting sound, please, right? Like tell me that the camera is doing it justice. Tell me. All right, please tell me you hear that, because that is a little bit addicting of a acoustic sound right there. You know, you can see here, you can definitely feel, right, it breaking the crossbar lock, right? There's no D10 here, so breaking that crossbar lock kind of acts as your D10, right? That's kind of how it works on a crossbar lock style knife. But yeah, man, overall, I mean, it's feeling good on the hand. Pocket clip is comfortable, good 9.5 out of 10 right there, as you would expect. Forward choke, boom, all day, every day. Loving it. I'm loving it, right? And it's not McDonald's, but I'm loving it. Let's do some quick size comparisons here, right? Let's do the typical knives here in the channel. There is your Stitch from Microtech. There is the MSI. So in the grand scheme of things, right, it's not an XL knife, right? It's also not a medium knife. So I would say somewhere in the large category. Obviously, these two are in the XL category, without a doubt. Here's your Manix Dos and your Yojimbo Dos, right here. Or these are going to be a tad bit bigger, right? Not by much, maybe a ½ inch or so, right? Quarter inch on each end, front end and back end. Perhaps something more comparable. There's the 80-20.5, which I feel like is right on the money there. Maybe the 80-20.5, just a tad bit shorter. And here is the Shark Cub. This is the Stealth, recently released this year. Again, all these knives are linked down below if you want to check them out. You can absolutely do so. All right, the Shark Cub is going to be a little bit shorter, as you can see. Here's the Civivi Vision FG and the Kizer Militaw. All right, so these are going to be slightly bigger, right? These are perhaps a little bit above the large, maybe XL category, perhaps. Well, obviously a little bit bigger. Then we said this guy's name is the Acacia. All right, so take a look there. And last but not least, there's the CJRB Hectare Alt I've been raving about so far. And also very popular budget EDC, the Vosteed Raccoon. Right? So definitely has a more pronounced drop point, right? It's not as, like, it definitely starts from this point and starts dropping there. The Raccoon has a more acute drop point, right? Definitely get a ton, get tons of belly with this guy for sure. And you can forward choke on all these guys, so they make great EDC knives. So hopefully you own some of those, right? That the idea there is just to give you a ballpark size-wise where this guy lands. Let's of course do our scientific cutting test here, showing, right, a piece of textbook paper. All right, let's take a look. All right, check out them beautiful swirls right there. All right, these definitely are going to come very sharp out of the box. Boom, is it going to cut paper? Absolutely bet that it can. And it has a pretty good, decent length to the blade. All right, so your cutting path, right, is decently long there. I know some of you guys want a pocket sword. You say, oh, that knife is too tiny for me. I need a bigger blade. Trust me, those knives do exist. I showed you a few in the knife comparison, size comparison. But yeah, this guy is for EDC tasks, right? This guy's gonna do really good. Obviously check your local laws. Know what size knife you can carry, right? If there are any limitations of any kind, then absolutely check that. And of course, I got a piece of cardboard here from an Amazon box, single wall cardboard. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but at an angle like this. So it's gonna look something like this. Here we go. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom. Is it gonna cut cardboard? Right, absolutely, it will. All day, every day, cutting through that cardboard, right, like nobody's business. The flat grind obviously is going to be a very, very slicey grind. And the fact that it is a stone wash is also going to help a ton there. So if you get any markings, streaks, right, scratches on the blade, you're good to go. So you guys rate it in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy, right? How sharp is out of the box? Of course, 10 being the sharpest, right? You guys let me know. Feel like it's only fair to give you guys a little zoom in to the actual. There we go. See, why didn't I do this from the beginning? I should have done this from the beginning right here. Look at that, right? Beautiful milling there. Kind of has that sort of Treyarch looking milling going on there, looking very, very sweet. Right, that's pretty awesome right there. Check it out on the other side. All right, that's looking really, really good. So now I know going forward, I'll give you guys a little microscopic zoom in like this. But yeah, I want to say CJRB. So let me take a moment to give CJRB kudos. CJRB, from what I understand, is one of the first knife companies, obviously recommendable knife companies with quality, sharp tools, right, knives that we, not just myself, but many other YouTube channels in the EDC community would recommend. They are the first ones one of the first ones to join the Tik Tok Shop, right? So obviously, unless you've been living under a rock by now, you probably have heard of Tik Tok, right? They are a social media platform that recently implemented the shopping ability within the platform. And honestly, I mean, there's a great audience over there. I mean, TikToks go viral all the time. And it's just awesome to see that, I mean, CJRB is being one of the first ones to join the Tik Tok Shop so that content creators like ours can talk more about knives over there. I will tell you, TikTok as a platform has become a little bit more friendly towards sharp tools, right? At the very beginning, or maybe if we were talking like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you post anything with a knife on a TikTok and it was like, oh, automatically a weapon, it's dangerous activity, we got to take it down. And I think my account was close to being almost closed down, like like multiple times. I do know, I believe Edge Mindset, his TikTok account got closed down as well. So, there's definitely a fine line there on how, knife or showcase, obviously myself included and many other EDC knife content creators. We talk about knives from an educational standpoint as tools and tools only, not weapons. And so I'm just glad that CJRB is finally on the TikTok shop because, right, that means that we can recommend these knives on TikTok and actually pin them, right, as well, which is great. Hopefully more and more knife companies also make their way over to TikTok. I mean, it's a great way to reach a lot more, a bigger audience, definitely a great way to be able to get these knives. As a matter of fact, I believe these are basically have a better price right now than in other places. So I'll definitely show you a screenshot right there for what this guy goes for on the Tik Tok Shop. And I definitely will have a link to it as well, right? So you guys can check it out on my TikTok also. But yeah, definitely making a great first impression here, right? The CJRB Acacia, right? And that's gonna do it for today's video, guys, right? Shout out to CJRB for sending this one in. Shout out to my Patreon supporters for supporting what I do here in the channel. Guys, you can support the channel on Patreon or right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. Go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It is absolutely free. It does help the video reach a larger audience. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new around here and you do enjoy knife and EDC content. EDC gear in a daily basis. Definitely do subscribe. If you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. I'm going to put 2 cards for 2 other CJRB knives, right, that I highly recommend there on your screen. Definitely check those out if you're interested, guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. That's going to do it for the video today. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.